Hey there, joyful seniors. What if I told you that the secret to waking up every day after 70, feeling lighter, happier, and truly at peace is as simple as letting go of 5 things? Yep, you heard me right. 5 little burdens you've been carrying around way too long. Today, we're diving into something that could totally transform your golden years. After age 70, throw away these 5 things for a peaceful and happy life. Stick with me, because this isn't just advice, it's a roadmap to your best chapter yet. Now, let's be real. Hitting 70 is a milestone. You've raised families, built careers, weathered storms, and earned every laugh line on your face. But here's the catch. Too many of us drag old habits and heavy baggage into this season, dimming the joy we deserve. Well, not anymore. I'm here to show you how to toss out what's holding you back and embrace the freedom you've earned. We're talking about ditching the need to please everyone, cutting off toxic relationships, letting go of the fear of death, dropping self-blame and regrets, and finally saying yes to peace and presence. Sound good? I thought so. And don't worry, I won't just leave you with a list. I've got a heartfelt story about a Texan named Tom who figured this out the hard way, plus some practical tips you can start using today. So, grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's make these years the most joyful yet. You ready? Let's jump in. 1. Let go of pleasing everyone. Hey, joyful seniors, let's kick things off with a big one. It's time to stop trying to please everyone. I know, this might feel like a gut punch, especially if you've spent decades being the go-to person for family, friends, or even the neighbor who can't figure out her Wi-Fi. But here's the truth. After 70, chasing everyone else's approval is like running a marathon with a backpack full of bricks. It's exhausting, and it's stealing the peace you deserve. Think about it. How many times have you said yes when every bone in your body screamed no? Maybe it's agreeing to babysit the grandkids when your knees are begging for a break, or hosting that holiday dinner when you'd rather be curled up with a good book. I get it. Pleasing people feels like second nature. We've been conditioned to keep the peace, to be the rock everyone leans on. But let me ask you this. Who's taking care of you while you're busy making everyone else happy? After 70, your energy is precious. You've spent a lifetime giving, raising kids, supporting spouses, helping friends through tough times. Now, it's your turn to receive something back. Peace. And that starts with letting go of this need to be everyone's yes man or yes woman. It's not about being selfish, it's about being smart. You're not here to live someone else's life. You're here to enjoy yours. Let me paint a picture. Imagine Jane, a 71-year-old from Florida. She used to spend every Sunday cooking for her extended family, 20 people, y'all. She'd slave over the stove, even though her arthritis made it agony. Why? Because she didn't want to disappoint anyone. One day, she hit her limit. She told her family, "I love you, but Sundays are mine now." Guess what? The world didn't end. They figured it out, and Jane started painting again, something she hadn't done since her 20s. She told me, "I didn't realize how heavy that yes was until I said no." So, how do you do this? Start small. Practice saying no with love. Try, "I'd love to help, but I need to rest today." Set boundaries, like limiting phone calls to certain hours or skipping events that drain you. And here's the kicker. Rediscover what you love. Maybe it's gardening, reading, or just sitting on the porch with a cup of tea. When you stop pleasing everyone, you make room for yourself. This isn't easy, I'll be honest. People might push back. Your sister might guilt trip you, or your kids might raise an eyebrow. But here's the thing, they'll adjust. And you? You'll feel lighter than you have in years. After 70, your peace matters more than their approval. Imagine waking up without that weight on your shoulders. What would you do with that freedom? Let's throw this one out first, because it's the key to unlocking everything else. 2. Cut off toxic relationships. All right, joyful seniors, let's talk about something tough but oh so freeing. Cutting off toxic relationships. Now, I'm not saying you should start ghosting everyone you know. Don't grab the scissors just yet. But after 70, it's time to take a hard look at who's in your life and ask, are they lifting me up or dragging me down? Because here's the deal, you've got too much living left to do to waste it on people who dim your light. So, what's a toxic relationship? It's that friend who criticizes everything you do, the relative who guilt trips you into doing more than you can handle, or the neighbor who complains so much you feel gray just talking to them. These folks don't just annoy you, they sap your energy, your joy, your peace. And at 70 plus, peace is your gold mine. You don't have time for drama, negativity, or folks who make you feel small. Take my friend Carol, a 73-year-old from Oregon. She had this cousin, Sue, who'd call every week to vent about her kids, her job, her everything. Carol would listen for hours, even though it left her drained. Worse, Sue never asked how Carol was doing, not once. Finally, Carol realized, I'm too old for this. She started dodging calls, keeping it polite but firm, and you know what? She felt like she'd dropped 20 pounds of baggage. Why does this matter now? Because after 70, your time is sacred. You've earned the right to surround yourself with people who make you laugh, who cheer you on, who get you. Toxic relationships aren't just inconvenient, they're a thief. They steal your happiness when you should be savoring every moment. Here's how to do it. First, spot the signs. Do they leave you feeling heavy, judged, or used? Next, set limits. Maybe you cut back on visits or keep chat short. Sorry, I've got plans. If it's really bad, be honest. I need some space right now. And if they're family, that's trickier, but you can still distance yourself emotionally. Don't let their chaos become yours. This isn't about being mean, it's about protecting your heart. I know it's hard to let go, especially if you've known them forever. Loyalty is a beautiful thing, but not when it costs you your peace. Think of it like cleaning out your closet. You don't keep the worn-out shoes that pinch your toes, right? Same goes for people. When you cut these ties, something amazing happens. You make space for the good stuff. Friends who bring you soup when you're sick, grandkids who light up your day, or even just quiet time with yourself. After 70, your circle should feel like a warm hug, not a chokehold. So grab that metaphorical broom and sweep out the toxic clutter. You'll thank yourself, I promise. 3. Release the fear of death. Okay, joyful seniors, let's get real for a minute. Number 3 is a biggie, releasing the fear of death. I know it's not exactly cocktail party chatter, but after 70, it's something we all think about more, and that's okay. It's natural. But here's the problem. When fear takes over, it robs you of the joy you could be feeling right now. So let's talk about how to throw this one out and live fuller today. First off, let's admit it. Thinking about the end gets louder as we age. Maybe it's a creaky joint that reminds you, or a friend's passing that hits close to home. For years, I'd catch myself lying awake wondering, How much time do I have left? It's heavy stuff. But here's what I've learned. Fear doesn't add a single day to your life. It just makes the ones you have feel smaller. After 70, you've got a choice. Let that fear run the show or take back the reins. I'm not saying pretend it's not there. I'm saying reframe it. What if death isn't the big bad wolf, but just the next step? For some, it's faith, knowing there's something beyond. For others, it's legacy, leaving love behind in your kids, your stories, your kindness. Me? I like to think of it as the start of a new adventure. But whatever works for you, the goal is the same. Stop letting it steal today. Take Bill, a 76-year-old from Colorado. After losing his wife, he got stuck worrying about his own clock ticking. He'd sit home, avoiding life, scared of what was coming. Then one day, he joined a hiking group. Slow pace, great views. Out there, breathing fresh air, he told me, I realized I'm still here. Why waste it? Now he hikes, he laughs, he lives. How do you let it go? Start by facing it. Write down what scares you, then rip it up. Talk to a friend who gets it, or lean on your beliefs if you've got them. I love a little gratitude trick. Every morning, list 3 things you're thankful for. It pulls you back to now. Meditation helps too. Just 5 minutes of deep breaths can quiet that noise. This isn't about ignoring reality, it's about embracing it. After 70, every sunrise is a win, every laugh a treasure. Fear of death? Toss it out the window. When you do, you'll feel this lightness, like you've given yourself permission to really live. What's one thing you'd do today if that fear wasn't holding you back? Let's make it happen. 4. Drop self-blame and regrets. Next up, joyful seniors. Number 4, it's time to drop self-blame and regrets. Oh, this one's a sneaky little devil, isn't it? After 70, those what-ifs and I should-haves creep in like uninvited guests. I should have taken that job. I wasn't there enough for my kids. Why didn't I travel when I could? Sound familiar? Well, I'm here to tell you that baggage is way too heavy for this stage of life. Let's kick it to the curb. Regrets are tricky because they feel so real. You look back on 70 years and see every fork in the road, every choice you wish you'd made differently. Maybe you blame yourself for a marriage that didn't last, or a dream you let slip away. I've been there, beating myself up over things I can't change. But here's the truth. You did your best with what you knew then. Holding on to blame doesn't fix the past, it just weighs down your present. After 70, this is your liberation moment. You've got wisdom now, perspective. Why waste it dragging around guilt? Think of Mary, a 72-year-old from Georgia. She spent years kicking herself for not finishing college, felt like she'd let her younger self down. Then, at a family reunion, her daughter said, "Mom, you raised us with love. That's more than any degree." Mary started crying right there. She told me, "I realized I'd been punishing myself for nothing." Now she's taking art classes, not for a diploma, but for joy. How do you drop this? First, forgive yourself. Say it out loud if you have to. I did my best. Write a letter to your younger self. Tell her you're proud, then tear it up. Celebrate what you did do. Raised a family, survived hard times, made people smile. And if it's still sticky, talk it out with someone who loves you. They'll remind you of your wins. This is about freedom, y'all. Regrets keep you stuck in yesterday. Letting go brings you back to today. After 70, you deserve to look in the mirror and see someone who's enough, flaws and all. So toss that self-blame out. What's one thing you've been hard on yourself about? Let it go. You're lighter already. 5. Embrace peace and presence. All right, joyful seniors, we're at number 5, and it's a beautiful one. Embrace peace and presence. If there's one thing I've learned after 70, it's this. You don't need to chase anything anymore. You've run the race, climbed the mountains. Now you get to sit back and enjoy the view. But here's the catch. You've got to throw out that restless itch to keep doing, fixing, achieving. Peace isn't something you find. It's something you choose. Back in the day, life was a whirlwind. Jobs, kids, bills, you name it. After 70, the pace slows, and that's a gift. But society? It still whispers, stay busy, be productive. Nope, not anymore. You've earned the right to savor the moment. Picture this, sipping coffee on your porch, no rush, just birds chirping. Or watching your grandkids play, really soaking it in. That's presence. That's peace. And it's where happiness lives. Take Helen, an 80-year-old from Maine. She used to fill her days with to-do lists, volunteering, cleaning, you name it. She thought slowing down meant giving up. Then a friend dragged her to a park bench with a thermos of tea. They sat, talked, watched the world go by. Helen said, I felt calm for the first time in years. Now, she's all about those quiet moments, says they're her secret to smiling more. Why's this hard? Because we're wired to hustle. But after 70, hustle's overrated. Try this. Start small. 5 minutes of deep breathing, no distractions. Savor your meals. Taste every bite. Unplug from the news, it'll wait. Presence isn't flashy, but it's powerful. It's noticing the warmth of the sun, the sound of laughter, the stillness of a good day. This is your reward, joyful seniors. Toss out that need to be on all the time. Embrace peace, and you'll find joy in the simplest things. What's one moment you can be fully present for today? Let's start there. Short story, a relatable American tale. Now, let me tell you about Tom, a 74-year-old from Texas who learned this the hard way and came out happier for it. Tom was your classic good old boy. Big heart, bigger barbecue grill. For years, he hosted these legendary cookouts for family and friends, even when his back started aching and the guest list hit 30. Why? He didn't want to let anyone down. Sound familiar? Then there was his buddy Mike, grumpy as a rattlesnake, always griping about something. Tom stuck by him out of habit, even though every chat left him feeling like he'd been wrung out. At night, he'd lie awake, worrying about his health, his time running out. What if I don't make it to 80? He'd think, and regrets. Oh, Tom had a pile, wished he'd taken his wife dancing more, wished he'd saved better. He was a good man, but he was carrying a load heavier than his old pickup could haul. One scorching July day, Tom hit his breaking point. He was prepping ribs for another cookout when his daughter called asking him to watch the kids again. He snapped, "Enough," he said. He canceled the barbecue, told Mike he needed a break, and sat himself down by the lake with a fishing pole, something he hadn't done since his 20s. Out there, with the water lapping and no one needing a thing, Tom felt something shift. He started small, told his family Sundays were his now. Mike? Well, Mike didn't take it great, but Tom held firm. He stopped obsessing over death. "I'm here now," he'd say. Regrets? He let them float away like leaves on that lake. And peace? He found it in those quiet casts, rod in hand. Tom told me, "I wasted years carrying junk I didn't need. Now I'm lighter than ever. His trick? Letting go of those 5 things we've been talking about. Tom's not perfect. He still overcooks the brisket sometimes, but he's free. And that, joyful seniors, is what we're aiming for. Tom's story proves it, y'all. After 70, happiness isn't about piling on more, it's about subtraction. Toss out pleasing everyone, toxic relationships, fear of death, regrets, and that restless chase, and what do you get? Room for joy. Tom didn't find peace by adding fancy gadgets or big plans. He found it by letting go. And that's the secret. The lighter you travel, the happier you live. You don't need to carry the world anymore. You just need to carry yourself. So, take a page from Tom's book and start shedding what doesn't serve you. Peace follows. I guarantee it. I've got to be honest, joyful seniors, this hits close to home. I've spent too many years saying yes when I wanted to say no, holding on to guilt over things I can't undo. I used to think keeping everyone happy was my job, even if it left me wiped out. Toxic people? I'd stick around hoping they'd change. Fear of death kept me up some nights, and regrets, oh, I had a list. But here's what I've learned after 70. Every day is a gift, and I'm done wasting it on stuff that weighs me down. Letting go feels like shedding an old coat that never fit right. It's scary at first, but then you feel the breeze. Now I'm choosing peace, sitting with my tea, laughing with my grandkids, just being here. It's not perfect, but it's mine. And you know what? You deserve that too. What's one thing you're ready to toss out today? For me, it's the guilt. I'm done with it. Let's do this together because these years, they're ours to enjoy. Well, joyful seniors, we've covered a lot today, haven't we? Let's wrap this up with a bow and send you off feeling lighter than ever. After 70, it's time to throw out those 5 things that have been weighing you down. The need to please everyone, those toxic relationships that drain your spirit, the fear of death that dims your days, the self-blame and regrets tying you to the past, and that restless chase that keeps you from just being. What's left when you let all that go? A life that's peaceful, happy, and truly yours. Exactly what you deserve at this stage. You've heard Tom's story, and maybe you've seen a bit of yourself in mine too. This isn't about turning your back on the world, it's about turning toward yourself, giving yourself the gift of freedom. You've spent decades being the rock for everyone else. Now, it's your turn to rest, to laugh, to breathe easy. You're not just surviving these years, you're thriving in them, and that starts with letting go. Don't wait another minute to claim that lightness. Start today, right now, because you've earned every second of this joy. So, here's my challenge to you, joyful seniors. Which of these 5 are you ready to toss out first? Maybe it's saying no to that next big ask, or stepping away from someone who's been dimming your shine. Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're shedding and cheer you on. If this hit home for you, give it a big old thumbs up. It helps more seniors like us find this channel. And hey, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next chat. We're in this together, building a community of joy after 70. Let's keep it going. See you in the next video. And until then, live light and live happy.